Shalom.
Shalom,
Hello.
Yore. Shalom, Kotis. How are you guys doing?
Great, doing great.
Awesome, awesome. Get probably like another minute or so and we'll get started.
Before we get started, I know last class we had a word Nathan to give,
Yeah.
and we made me think about how I know a lot of what we call Nathans and Nathaniels,
Yeah.
and we don't even know it.
Don't even know it. And every time it's reflected in the name, right? The character, but also too, like Nathaniel, meaning that Elohim, my Elohim gives. That's what that name would mean. It's amazing to me that these names take on a life, right? And either it could be in a positive way or it can be in a negative way. You know, we could, for you, your name Yared, meaning to descend or to go down. That could be done in a negative way. I mean, you could be the kind of person to take people down, but it's not. You know, it could be. And what's the positive of your name, Yared? Well, there's several things like Yah descended. If he never descended, we would never be in a relationship with him. You know, you got that the yod in your name, you know, representing the hand and representing the movement of work. The resh, the head of things, the door. And when Yah descends, it's like he's opening the door for him to come down. Remember the vision that was seen by Yaakov? He saw at the top of that ladder, Malachim going what? They were ascending and descending. Yeah.
Yeah, we started looking up the names, like what our names can mean. Like my mom was like a Pamela, and changing Kavika, the V to the W was kind of like Dawid's name.
Oh, well, that is matter of fact. I mean, I think it's either in Samoan. Kavika means Kavika means David. It also means love. It's it's all connected. So yeah, great things for this language. It's active. It means like, well, I have more purpose. You know what I mean? I have a lot of purpose in my life. I got things I got to do. I mean, for me, I was like, wow, look at my name. My name means to bring things together, two houses together. So, and one who has the mind, who's supposed to have who says a man after Yahweh's own heart, what Yahweh's mind, meaning he has to be like a thinker, like the creator. That's the mind that he's supposed to have. And only way to get that mind is one has to give up his own mind. His own thoughts. So interesting name. Hope you guys enjoyed the lesson today.
Yes.
Yes, it was good.
Yeah, thank you. We're just all growing. Be telling you guys my personal stuff because I want you to know, like, hey, everyone's human. We all have the things that we got to work on. And when we're able to admit those things, I think that's where we're going to grow. So when I say stuff, I'm like, I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah, I got a lot of work to do. Which brings us to our word here called charrettes. Shh. And then here's that rets. Okay, they probably have a charrettes. Okay. And charrettes is a crawler. That's why I got this little bug up here. Because we're talking about the things that Yah has made. He's made that which crawls. And he says the things that crawl to him are unclean. Except somebody tell me what's the one thing that he says that you can eat that's clean, that has legs, that crawl. Grasshoppers.
Grasshopper.
Yeah, it's a grasshopper. And you want to know why? Because the legs that it has is what? Somebody take a guess. Why would he say you can eat a grasshopper or a locust? Why would he, which is essentially the same family? Why would you be able to eat a locust and a grasshopper?
The legs don't all the way touch the ground all the time?
Well, that's close. Yeah, absolutely. You know what it is? He does have the ability to bend his knee.
Oh.
Yeah. And him able to bend his knee, okay, because he can bend his knees. That's what allows him to jump. If he can bend the knee, to bend the knee has to do it to be blessed or to bow. That's why. Look at the locusts, right? He says you can eat them. So being hit by locusts is not a bad thing if you get hungry. And there's all different types. And they're part of his army, by the way. Okay. So the charrettes is Elohim said to let the water swarm with swarms. Okay. The creeping things were swarming. The things in the water swarms. Okay. Living creatures, let the birds fly above the earth in the open dome. Let it all open up to the sky. Okay. Somebody tell me, just to take a guess, what day are we talking about? Is it the first day? No. Is it the second day? No. Third day? No. Fourth day? Huh?
I said fourth.
Well, the fourth is the great lights.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the Gadol. Okay, the Gadola or the Maroth or I gotta slow my roll. Maor. Okay, the great lights. It's important to know the creation days because Yah uses that as a pattern to let you know on how he's going to work on certain days, because he mentions on this happens on the third day, on this is the fourth day of this, the fifth day. Today we read Jonah was in the belly on what? The third day for 3 days. Okay. And if you remember what happened on the third day, okay, when Yah calls the waters, right? And he divided the seas, right? What I was found to be interesting, which I wasn't able to share with the class, which went right over my head, was when we were discussing today about Jonah, that tree that he had, the gourd that grew over him?
Yes.
Well, that in particular plant is it makes you not nauseous. Okay. It's noxic. It makes you like nauseous, like you're going to throw up, like you're going to vomit. Okay. If you eat it, you'll vomit, which is the same word that he used Hebraically to talk about when the big fish vomit him out. He turns around and says that this bush is a nauseous plant. The reason why Yah let that grow is because Yahweh was talking about how he felt about Jonah. About his attitude. I forgot to mention that today, that his attitude made Yah like want to vomit him. Okay. Like he did with the fish. The fish threw him out. He got, and so, and after so you see, after he did what Yah was said, he still had this little attitude. And Yah was asking him, why are you angry? Right? Because of the people, right? The people didn't know their right hand from the left, and neither did he. Said everyone there is dumb. Literally, they don't have a clue. And you're mad at me because I spared the people that were dumb. So what is he telling us? Even the dumb people can repent.
Yes.
Even a person don't know their right hand from the left hand. So what's going to be the excuse? There ain't no excuse for nobody. I think your sister T Akoti T had asked a question about the righteous and couldn't, I said the Yahweh won't show mercy. She's like, well, didn't Abraham ask for mercy? And I forgot. I said, yeah, he did ask for Lot, right? But it wasn't just because he was a family member. Okay. He didn't ask for mercy for Lot. He didn't. If you go to when Yah spoke to him in Genesis 18, he was interceding on behalf of the righteous. And Lot just happened to be a righteous person. You see, he was defined as righteous because of the way he lived his life. So it's not that Yah says that, we should ask for the people who are not righteous. The people that Abraham was interceding for were people who were righteous. And that's who you and I should be asking Yah to spare, is the righteous. Right? They automatically, Yah will save a city because of the righteous. And he showed that I'll stop for 10. I won't do it for 10, but he didn't find 10. He only found one. That's all he found is one person. And one person's not enough. The righteousness of Lot wasn't enough to spare the city. Okay. The righteousness of one is not enough to save everybody. You see, 10, I spare them. One, not going to spare it. So what you would think? Well, the idea of the Christianity is there was one righteous and everybody else is wicked. And he saved everybody. For all the transgression, the whole world, past, present, and future. Everything that happened from the beginning, everything's going to happen in the end. This one in particular innocent man died to let everybody else go free. And the only kicker is that you got to believe. That's it. Does that make sense? What court of law have you ever seen something like that? Literally, it is a miracle because it has never happened. Anyway, back to our deal. A swarmer, okay? A swarmer is something that swarms. That's all the charrettes is. You're going to find this word in the multiplicity and the movement of things, okay? That's another word, charrettes. Here's a huge one. I have this image here. This is the only thing I could possibly come up to identify what a soul is, okay? Framework of body, light, interior. So what is a nephesh? A nephesh, a soul. Does Yah have a nephesh? Huh?
No.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does have a nephesh. So now I'm gonna put it together, but I'm gonna tell you when he says this. Okay, so let me take a little break right here. Because when we would think of soul, we would think humanity, right? Or we would think an animal, or we think a creature. Okay, but what he's trying to show us is that everything has an origin. Okay, when Yah breathed into man, man became a living nefesh. Okay, so that which came out of Yah's mouth is what gave us our life, our soul. Okay, that's when man became a living soul, is when Yah breathed into him. Okay, and then the shama, the breath of life, into him, he became a living soul. But he's not the only living soul. A soul is just not something that's created. It's something that has already existed, that Yah decided to share with us. Okay, and let me show you right quick, because I want to verify. I never want to just say something and not be able to go right to it. Sometimes I'll be getting lost in the sauce, be like, well, where's that at? I'll be forgetting because there's so many different places. But here you go. Let me put that right here. All right, go down. All right. Let's see, right here. Let me show it to you. So if someone says, well, you said that, does Yah have a soul? The Torah says that he does. It's in chapter number 26 of Leviticus, Vayikra. Okay. And we're going to believe it's in verse number 30 or 31, if I'm not mistaken. So let's find that right quick. An actual nefesh. All right, the places that in the carcass and oh, here it is. All right, get rid of the picture of myself. All right, so here it is. Yad says in verse number 30, I'm going to read it in English, right to left. And I, right here to the left, right here. And I, okay, will destroy Eth what? I'm going to destroy the high places right here. I'm going to cut down the incense altars, and I'm going to cast down the carcasses, okay, your carcasses, your dead bodies upon in your I know it sounds cruel. You say, well, why are you laughing? Because Yah is just telling us what he's going to do to Israel when they get out of line. Your carcasses on your lifeless forms on the idols. So I'm going to throw your bodies, okay, all right, upon these idols that you serve. After I destroy the idols, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to throw your bodies on top of them, right? And I'm going to abhor you, okay? I mean, I'm going to hate you. What part of me is going to hate you? My soul. This is Yah talking. Ethkim, you, plural. I'm going to hate you. I'm going to abhor you. That's what I'm going to do. Because that's what it takes for me to do what I'm going to do with you. By me destroying your sanctuaries and your high places and all that, and also taking your bodies, your dead bodies, and I'm going to throw those things on your idols. Okay. And here it is, my soul. Yah has a soul. Blew me away when I found out. Okay. Let's verify. Noon, a pay, and a shin, and this right here is my. Okay. My soul. If you look at the root of the word, and we're going to find out what the root is Hebraically, but from this point right here, we'll just click it. Living being, life, person, desire, passion, appetite, and emotion. Isn't that where everything that we get comes from? The soul is the living being of us, what's in us, which is the charge, okay? The inside, the real, true who you are, right? And it's the self, like we talk about Dawid, we talk about, who we are and what's our character, the person, the desire, the passions. Every passion that we have, okay, comes from the Creator. And you and I have a choice to use it either in a good way or in a bad way. Remember, it could either go either way. It could be for good or it can be for bad. So your passions and your appetite can be, the whole of you. And let me show you that again. Let me see. So Yah has a soul because it's called a nafshi. So the nefesh is a soul, which is what? It is identified here with the word for creatures. So when they put the word creatures in there, they didn't put the word nefesh in there. Even the soul. So does a creature have a soul? According to the text, it does.
Yeah.
You understand? So everything that's swarming inside of the ocean, okay? Everything is swarming in the living waters, okay? Everything is living, that's the key. Everything is living in the waters, living, okay? In the water's living, they're living. They are the souls, not creatures. So the insects have a soul, okay? The birds have a soul. The fish have a soul, okay? It all has a soul. The animals have a soul. You see? When Yah tells me going to kill everything that's in the city, every soul living, as everything that's living has to die. This is when Yah says, I'm going to go and destroy the city. I'm going to kill everything, both the humans and the animals and everything else. When he destroyed the earth, what did he ask Noah to do? Go and get this, and this, and these of these animals and of these animals and in the insects and everything, 7 of each pair. Okay, I forgot the number, whether it was 5 and 2 or whatever, but clean and unclean. Okay. So the soul is greater than what we've been told. It's applied to creatures, it's applied to birds, it's applied to animals, and ultimately it's applied to the creator, because that's where this life comes from. Okay. And also too, the actual root of the word says the action of it is to refresh. So everything that has a soul has to go through a time of to be refreshed, because that's what it means. So it's the whole of a person, okay, which is the body, the breath, and the mind. That's all of you. So when we talk about a soul, we're thinking, oh, that's just a spiritual inside being. That's not Hebraic, and that's not the way that Yah looks at it. Yah looks at the soul as the body, the breath, and the mind, the whole person. That's why when he says, when someone wants to bring me an offering, if he uses the word nefesh, he also used the word Adam, but he also used the word nefesh. When he says the soul that sinneth against me, it's not just the spiritual sinning against him, it's using the body and your breath and your mind and every part of you to sin against him. You're using your existence to sin against him, which is really heavy, because we've been taught to what they would call chop it up and make us think, well, I'm going to designate this part to this, and I'm going to say the body is this, and that has body, soul, and spirit. That's what we've been taught. Body, soul, and spirit, they're all different. And that's not what Yah says. When Yah talks about that soul shall be cut off, it ain't talking when you go to heaven. He's talking about the body of that person, the breath of that person, the mind of that person, and the entirety of the person. The whole person is going to be cut off. When he talks about us keeping the Shabbat, he said, let to refresh your soul. Even your animals are supposed to refresh themselves on the Shabbat because they have a soul. So when we're working something and we're working against Yahweh, we're working against the order in which he has set. The soul has to have a break every 6 days. It says, boom, I need to break. As soon as that 7th day hit, I need to break. That's what we were designed for, because the soul that we have came from him. When Dawid says that you knew me, you wrote down all my members, you know all my days before they were even played out. Yah has given each of us our own personal souls, which is beautiful. So think about this for a second. Yah gives you and I our souls. He gives us our lives. He gives us our whole of our person. He decides where that soul is going to be born, where that soul is going to die, where that soul is going to live, whether that soul is going to be able to eat, whether that soul is going to be destroyed, whether that soul is going to be rescued, whether that soul is going to be afflicted. Yah makes those determinations for his own glory and his own benefit, so he can receive the praise. Whether it's if someone is being destroyed, Yah receives praise because they've actually violated him, and he's living up to the righteousness that he says that he is. Okay, so you and I are beings that have been given the opportunity to come to a place that has been prepared for us to live out our lives in honor of the one who gave it to us. That's what I was trying to bring out today. Hopefully you were able to capture that, is that the whole of our person in our existence is not to live for ourselves. The whole reason why we exist as the children of Israel, our primary reason is to live to serve Yahweh and to be his vessels, to be able to be light into the nations, to be the teachers to the nations, to teach everybody on how to live, to execute his judgment and to execute his righteousness in the earth. And we can't do that when we're holding back or withholding anything from him, or we refrain from giving him all of us and all of our mind. And it's a tough call. Like I said, I'm selfish because I found out that I haven't given Yahweh everything. I haven't. I don't, it's difficult. It really truly is. It's the work of Yah. It says it's not too hard for you to do, but the giving of one's soul and to give of one's aspirations in their mind and their breath of them and everything, to be that committed to Yah, that's what he's looking for. He's looking for absolute total commitment of every part of us. And literally that's what life is for Israel. Israel is one who's supposed to have what they would call Kai, CH and then a Yod, I, Kai. That's how you say life. Our job is to live. And through our life, we can bring what you would see, these beautiful flowers here. We see that. I wonder how everything sees us. We always talk about what we see. Well, we don't know how other things view us, right? How does Yah see us? How does he view our lives? Why did he give us the framework that he gave us? Why did he share himself with humanity? Why would he allow himself to live and give life to that which is called dust, or I think they call it at afar, which is really dirt, the speckles of dust from the soil. Yah made our bodies and then breathed into us and gave us a living soul. Wow, it's powerful. You see? So to live or to have life is called Kai. Kai. Okay. When we have Elohim said, let the water, the Mayim, swarm, Sharets, with living. Kai, Kayim. Kayim what? Kayim Nefesh, Nefeshim. Living. And let the birds fly above the earth in the open dome of the sky. What is it to live? Right? What is Kai? What is life? Life is to live. That's the action of it, but it's associated with the stomach. Okay. And the abstract is life. And here's the idea behind it. It's trippy. When the stomach is empty, one is famished and weak. And when it's filled, one is revived. This organ, which is the stomach, is seen as the life. As an empty stomach is like to death, but revived stomach is like life. Before my mother passed away, may Yahweh be merciful unto her, Nefesh. When my mother passed away, 12 days before she passed away, she lost her complete appetite. This is one of the first things that goes when a person's about to die. I've talked to a couple of physicians, doctors, nurses. They tell me the same thing. When a person doesn't eat any food and they're not eating, they don't have a desire to live anymore, and more than likely they're going to die. You need to eat in order to live. So this is what Yah uses. So why is Yah? So when Yah talks about dealing with Israel, one of the first things he would do as a punishment is what? How does he get to us?
Famine.
He hits you with famine. Okay. And the reason why he does the famine, he says, is because if you listen to me, I'll give the rain in its season. Remember, we read, I think, in 2 Chronicles today. I don't think we read, I think it's there. It's in chapter number 6. He says, if Israel's being bad and they have bad behavior and you cut the rain off and we've hit famine, they can pray towards this place and you would hear them. Chapter number 26, again, which I should show it to you right quick to give you more context on the stomach, to let you know what life really is, so you can apply it to your life. Your life is how you eat. Okay. If you and I would live the right way, you'd have a full stomach. And then also too, you got to be careful what you're eating, right? So let's get right here and figure this out. Let me show it to you to tie it up so that it makes sense. Chapter number 26, if I'm not mistaken, has to do with the promises. Yeah. Okay. All right. You are not to make yourselves any idols, erect a carved statue, or a standing stone, or a place of any carved stone anywhere in your land, in order to bow down to it. I am Yahweh, your Elohim. Okay. Keep my Shabbats, revere my sanctuary. I am Yahweh. If you live by my regulations and observe, meaning do my commandments and obey them, then I will provide the rain you need in its season. Okay. It's an if. So the rain is directly connected, and you can see this all through the Torah and the prophets. If you live, okay, which is Kai, okay, by my regulations, a lifestyle, right? You live by my regulations, my commandments, and obey them, then I will provide rain you need in the land. Okay. So it will yield its produce, because that's how you live. You live off of food. Okay. You live off the trees. You live off of their fruit. Okay. You're going to live off of your threshing time and your grape harvest. You're going to live off that until the sowing time. And what? You will eat as much food as you want and live securely in your land. Okay. So it's directly connected. When Yah wanted to find out what was in the heart of the first humanity, which is Adam and Kuah, he gave them trees, and he told them not to eat of a certain tree. And they did. So Yah uses the stomach to find out if somebody's going to listen to him. Okay. Well, that's you saying that. Where else is it? It's not just me saying this. We're going to deal with the soul and his stomach, so you can find out what Yah is using to get our attention. Okay. So he uses the stomach to get the attention of his people. Here's proof. All the commandments that I'm giving you today, you are to take care to obey, so that you will what? So that you will live. Okay. And if you're living, excuse me, let me put this up here right quick. If you're living, then that means that you get to increase your numbers. Okay. Because and you increase your numbers through having children. If you can't do that on an empty stomach, you're going to enter and take possession of the land Yahweh swore about to your ancestors. You are to remember everything of the way in which Yahweh led you these 40 years in the desert. He humbling you and testing you in order to find out, or in order to know what was in your heart. I need to stop adding my words. Okay. In order to know what's in your heart. So Yah wants to know what's in your heart, which is in your mind, not your little, beating heart, but your mind, whether you would obey his commandments or not. That's why he's done the 40 years. It took 40 years to find out whether or not these people are going to do it. Okay. He humbled you. And how did he humble them? Oh, by allowing you to become hungry. That's how Yah tests you. He tested you by your stomach in order to know by you becoming hungry. He allowed you to go hungry. And then he fed you with manna, okay, or man here, which neither you nor your ancestors had ever known, to make you understand that a person does not live, kai, on food alone, but on they said everything, right, that comes out of the mouth of Yah. Everything that comes out of Yah's out of Yah's mouth, is Yah's command. That's what he's saying. There won't be any rain unless Yah opens his mouth to say there's rain. There won't be any food. And yes, Yah sends a command for the food to be brought. Yah has the ability to send out a famine, or he can send a devourer, insects or swarms of insects. He can send out the locusts to eat up all the food. He can send out hailstorms and give there a command. He can send out his Malachim to go and kill everybody in the city. He can send one and kill 185,000. You see? Yahweh has done this in order to find out whether or not someone was going to do what he says. He uses food. Just like he's using food for us to make an offering to him, he uses food. And then, of course, he goes on and telling about all the good stuff that he gave them. Okay. And for them to eat and be satisfied. All this chapter right here is about them eating and being satisfied. Okay. And they're increased with all kind of stuff. But that takes food. And it takes Yahweh sending a word out to them. The manna was food that was given from the Shamayim by the mouth of Yah. It's a command that Yah commanded it to be brought to them every single day for 40 years until the time in which they entered the land of Canaan. That day is stopped. And that bread, in Psalm 78, is a bread that Malachim ate. So that's the same bread that was fed to Israel, is the same bread that's fed to the Malachim, Yahweh's servants in the heavens. Okay, so, but our transgressions can actually keep us from getting what we need so we can eat. Okay, and again, just since I'm here, I want to let you know, people say, well, when should you pray over your food? Verse number 10, so you will eat and be satisfied, and then you will bless Yahweh your Elohim for all the good land he has given you. Generally, Hebrew people pray for their food after they eat. And this is where they get the understanding, because you can't really thank Yah for something until you're satisfied. Yah says, I'm going to take you out of the lands that I put you in, and where you deal with famine, you will no longer deal with famine anymore. Not just talking because you and I are eating, the whole nation as a whole is not eating. We shouldn't be so naive to think that our people, not just ourselves, our people around the four corners of the world, some of them are not eating and they're starving and they're really going through it. Okay. So they're not satisfied. You can't bless Yahweh on an empty stomach. Not unless it's intentional. Like you said, I'm going to do that through, afflicting myself through fasting. Okay. I just wanted to show it to you right quick. All right. Any questions so far? No questions. Okay, let's get back to. Okay, go back. All right. All right. So your stomach is your life. What do you guys think about this picture?
It's sweet, like lovebirds.
Yeah. Yeah. See that? Which one is the female? Female.
And the one to the right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Why do you say it's the female? Why do you say it's the female?
Because the one on the left, he appears to be dominant. He just has that aura.
Yeah.
To me.
Okay, so you see the color right here on his thing? They both got this color on the side, right? They still got this, and they got these dots going on the side. They got, I was looking at it, it's like, okay, what's the difference? She has a white part of her beak, his is blue. Okay. Her top of her head is white, and his is all yellow. You could just tell. You could just tell who's the male, this one right here. Yeah, he is dominating. Look at the eyes. You see her eyes? And look at his eye. Doesn't his eye look masculine? And her eye looks feminine? Look at it.
Yes.
This is beautiful, right? You see what I'm saying? There's more white in her stripes, a space of white. And his is yellow in between. But do you see the harmony that's between them? See? Now, what if you saw a bird like this kissing another bird like that? What would you be like? What? You never see that, right? This is the idea. This is what it is. Male and female. Okay. Beautiful. You're right. Look how big, it looked like he got a beard, huh? Don't it look like he got a beard?
Yeah.
And she don't no, for real. Look, she don't have no beard. Don't it look like he got a beard? Am I lying? Don't you see the beard right here?
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah. So he got a beard and she doesn't. You see? Beautiful. Okay. I didn't pick up on that until today, to be honest with you, because I was looking at Earth like, that's beautiful. Anyway, the name of this is called an oaf. That's the name, how you say bird. Oaf. Here's your O. And here's your PH. Okay. Oaf. Okay. An oaf is a bird. You see, I got a question right here. Yeah, he got abs. Somebody said he got abs. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he sure does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Look, I didn't see that. Great eye. You see? Remember, Yah told us, he says, when you got a bird, right, you're supposed to bring, what kind of bird, since we're on it? What does the Torah say you got to bring Yah as an offering? What kind of birds?
Dove.
You got a dove and you got
a pigeon.
What we call a pigeon. Okay. Same family. But a dove in Hebrew is called, it's not Jonah or Jonah, it's really Yonah. Okay. So Yah says, when you take this bird for an offering, not this in particular one, but if you take a pigeon or a dove, somebody tell me, how are you supposed to deal with it? How are you supposed to end its life?
Pinching its head, priest, I think, pinches his head.
Yeah, you got to he wrings his neck, right? And then he cuts his body open. He takes all of his innards out, right? And he separates the bird, but he doesn't separate them all away. He just fans them completely out. And then he plucks all of his feathers off of them. Okay, so he doesn't rip them completely in half. He just opens them up and then spreads them out. Okay. And then he takes his blood and he sprinkles his blood around the altar. And then once he sprinkles it, then he squeezes the remaining blood out at the base of the altar. And then he puts it on top of the altar. Right. And it's a sweet aroma that goes up to Yahweh. And this is generally for people when we had offerings that had to deal with birds or doves or yonas. It had to do with people who had who were really poor. Okay, this is what they had. They couldn't afford a ram, a lamb, and he said, "Well, you can't afford that. Then you have to do 2 of these." Okay, and one will be for a burnt offering, and the other one will be for a sin offering. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, so Yah uses the oath for the poor. Okay, the oaths were created. I don't believe they were not on the whatchamacallit. I got to double check on what day they were. But when Yah created these creatures, he gave them these souls. When he spoke them, right? He spoke them into existence. And they appeared. Think about that for a second. Look at the beauty. You see the creativity of the creator? Just beautiful. Elohim said, let the water, the mayim, sharets, right? Sharets of the, I say living. Kai. I say creatures.
Sharets.
Swarm is charrettes.
Charrettes creatures.
Creatures are nephesh. Nephesh. Okay. Nephesh. Yeah, the nephesh. So I'll say Shema Yisrael. It means listen, Israel. Yahweh Eloheinu. Yahweh Elohim. Yahweh Akkad. U ahavata eth Yahweh Eloheka. V'kol levavaka. V'kol nafshika. V'kol meodika. That is to say, to love Yahweh with all of your heart, which is your lavavaka. Your nafshika is your nafeshka. Okay, or I'm conjugating the way it's written in the text. But your nafshika is your soul, all of your being. He's asking for everything. Okay, and you'll hear me say this over and over again more frequently. Is that in order for us to really accept Yahweh as one in our life and respect him as being one, you and I are going to have to love him with everything. That's all of our thoughts in our mind and all of our being. That's everything, every part of us, our stomach. That's why he gives us a diet. It's not magic. Okay. Every part, our emotion, our gut, everything. Okay. He wants it all. And then Meodika means I need you to love me with all your might, all the strength that you have that you can muster it up. And that's when I say that I'm selfish, because I'm not giving Yahweh all my energy. I give my energy to other things about, hey, I got a problem here. I got this going on. I worry too much about what's going on with me instead of figuring out more about what he's expecting for me. Right. I talk more about what I, when I'm praying, I'm talking more about me. He's like, you're selfish. You just start talking about what I want you to do for me versus me doing for you. I know what your situation is. So you don't need to remind me, because I already wrote everything down. I already know that. And so you're dishonoring me and you're being selfish because you're focused on you. Like, I don't know what's going on. And versus you focusing on me to figure out what I want you to do. See, versus what you want me to do for you. See, so Yah's asking every creature, every nefesh, and everything to, play their part, like we have here when he says, "Let the birds fly above the earth in the open dome of the sky." What dome? What's the name of the dome?
Rakuya.
That's Rakuya. Okay, and then we got the dome of the sky, which is Shamayim. The earth is the what?
Eretz.
Eretz. So I got Eretz, and what's the name of the swarm?
It's the charrettes.
Charrettes. So you see the connection? Sheretz and Eretz. So what's coming out of the Eretz is the Sheretz. Shretz. Shretz. Eretz. Shretz. So you can connect those, because that's where there's things that swarm called the remes. They swarm inside the earth. Okay. But it's just something you can make a connection, because things are swarming not only in the waters, but they're swarming also too in the earth. Okay. Sheretz, Eretz, Oaf. Oh, by the way, one of the names of the of what they call an ophonym. Have you guys ever heard of an ophonym?
No.
Okay, the ophonym, and have you ever heard of what they call a seraphim?
Yes.
The seraphims are the fiery ones. Okay. The ophonims are the winged ones. Okay. The malachims are the messengers. Okay. The cherubims, the keruvim are the guardians. Okay. Yah has all these. Okay. So you got malachim, seraphim, ophanim, cheruvim. These are different orders of Yahweh's armies. Okay. They're different orders to let you know he has several levels. So a lot of times people get confused because they said, oh, well, Yah sent down Christ, or the so-called Christ in the New Testament. He's the and then what they will call mistakenly the angel of, the Lord. Okay. That's what they would call a Malachim. A Malachim can also be not only a being that's in the Shamayim, but a Malachim just means a messenger or messengers. Moshe sent men as messengers to certain kings, and they're called a Malachim. So anybody who delivers a message is called a Malachim, a messenger. Okay. In the book of Leviticus, the priests are called a Malachim of Yahweh. That means they're supposed to deliver his message. Okay. And I want to let you know that's why I wanted that book of Malachi is my messenger. And so in that book, you think, well, is he talking about an angel? Who's he talking about? I'm going to get it for you right quick, so you can know for yourselves. Okay. Malachim. I know it's in chapter 2, but I just want to go right to it. Okay. 2 and 6. Okay. Let's take a pause right quick. And let's go over here to Malachi. And we're going to read chapter number 2, verse number 6. Oop, wrong one. Malachi. So Malach is one who walks, right? Put it right here for you. M, right? A, L, A, they got CH, but it's really a K. And then the I, okay? Malachi, okay? Malach is a messenger. That I right here means my. So the book Malachi means my messenger, my Malach, okay? The one who walks for me. Well, the one who walks for me is the one who has the mem, right? And that's the water. The next one is the lamed, okay, which is the shepherd's staff, right? And then after that, we got the K, which in this case would be a kof, okay? Because it's on the end, it's going to be like this, okay? I'll write it in English. Mem, lamed, and a final cough. Okay. This word right here, lak, L-A-K, means to walk. The mem here is water. It means from. Okay. The lamed is a picture of a staff. Come on. And then the next letter, the cough right here, is the palm of the hand. So you got a staff in the palm. Internet's slow. You got a staff in the palm of the hand. The only time a staff is in the palm of the hand is when someone's walking for someone else. So from walking with the staff in your hand. Generally, when someone got the staff in their hand and they started walking, they're walking to deliver a message. This is the reason why Moshe had to Yah put a staff in his hand, because it was the authority that he needed to walk on behalf of the one who sent him. So a Malach is a messenger. And if the internet would just unfreeze, we'll be fine. Okay, do you guys get that? Any questions on that? So, and also too, the same name for Malach. M, put the letter here, L. Okay, I know you think we're talking about Martin Luther King. All you got to do is change the letters from a to a E, and you have what?
King.
Got a melech. Okay, what's a melech? Yeah, what's a melech?
Is that a king?
Yes, it is. You're correct. So someone asked the other day, look, why did Yah need a king if he already got a priest? Why does he need a king? Right? Yah's our king. Why would he need a king? Because what the king does, okay, he not only is supposed to rule from the throne, the king is supposed to walk among the people. The king is supposed to be the idea or the he's a messenger for Yah himself. He's supposed to try to teach the people how to be more like him. Okay, so in Israel, the kings were evil. All their kings were evil. And as a result of that, all the people were evil. Okay. So this is how it was going. The people in Israel, the northern kingdom, was being ruled by evil kings. As a result of those kings being evil, all the people were being evil. The kings were controlling the people. Okay. Then in the southern kingdom, you had some good kings and not so good kings. You got some good ones and some not so good ones. The people were controlling the king. They were moving the king. So either the king is moving the people or the people are moving the king. Okay. Yah wants the king to move the people. That's what Yah wants. He doesn't want the people to influence the king. Okay. This is the reason why the kingdom was taken from Saul, because the people, remember he said, you guys remember what he said? He said, Yah asked him to do something and he told him to go in and kill everybody. And guess what he said? Oh, well, the people, they were all, excited and stuff, and the people this and the people that. He started making up excuses. And Yah stripped him of the kingdom because he was getting moved by the people. Okay. I wanted to bring out this point about the Malach and about a messenger. Okay. Going back to the Seraphim, the Ophanim, the Malachim, and the Cheruvim. It says in verse number 6, the true Torah was in his mouth, talking about Levi. Okay. No dishonesty was found on his lips. He walked with me in peace, in shalom, and uprightness, in zedekim, and he turned many away from sin. Okay. A Kohen's lips, a priest, should safeguard knowledge, primary responsibility. And the people should seek the Torah from his mouth. He is the messenger of Yahweh Sabaoth. That word messenger right there is Malach. Okay, verse number 7. So Malach. Book of Malachi. Got to show it to you in Hebrew so you'll know. What Yah is doing with us is he's training us to not accept English. If you find out what it is, because a messenger is just like a regular person, but someone who's walking on Yahweh's behalf and for him, he is a messenger of Yahweh Zavaoth. And that's why you can see the importance of the Torah. So if the leadership is messed up, then the people are going to be messed up because you're delivering a wrong message. See? So here it is in verse number 7. It says, for the lips of the Kohen, the priest should yishmar, keep, guard, knowledge, da'ah. And the Torah should we seek, but kashku, from his mouth. Mipihu, for ki, he is a what? He is a malach of Yahweh Zavaoth. He is. So in the book of Malachi, my messenger, Yah just told us who he's really talking to. Yah was talking to the family of Lewi. That's why he talks to them about my offerings. You guys are not doing my offerings right. He talks to them. You guys don't fear me. You guys are calling good evil and evil good. You guys are, bringing me lame animals. You guys don't have any respect for me. He's on them. The book of Malachi is talking about his messenger. And at the end of this book, he tells them that he's going to send another one. He's going to send another messenger. And his messenger is called Eliyahu. And Eliyahu is going to make things right. He's going to tell Israel how and what they should do, and how the fathers are supposed to turn their hearts back to their children and the children back to their fathers. And he says this in particular individual is going to come before the great and terrible day of Yahweh. So a lot of people are waiting for this individual to come. Okay. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be through the means of physicality for him to come back, meaning the words that he spoke can be the him coming back. Just like the words of Moshe. Moshe did not resurrect, but yet his words are still being heard. He says, when you're in the land of your enemies, you're going to listen to the words that I've been commanded to tell you. Moshe's words are still living. He's still telling us what to do right now. So even though he might be sleeping with his fathers, his words are still living. They're still here because they're Yahweh's words. Okay. So all the words that Yahweh has spoken have been given through his prophets. And Eliyahu is one of his prophets. See, so we don't look for Moshe to return. We're not looking for anybody to resurrect. We're not looking for David to resurrect. When Yah says, I'm going to raise up a seed for David, it's not raise David up. It's not talking about raising up David from the grave. That's the Christian mindset. Yah was talking about, I'm going to raise up somebody from the family of David. I'm going to raise up one of his springs. I'm going to raise David up and I'm going to put one of his sons who's from that family line. I know who he is. I'm going to raise him up and put him on the throne when you guys go back to the land. Okay. So resurrection for us is about us getting Yahweh's words. It's not about somebody coming out. Okay. So these birds, okay, the action of them is to cover. That's what they use their wings for, to cover. Like a wing of a bird that gives flight as well as the covering. It and its chicks. Do you remember the images of all the what they would call the seraphims? In the Ophanim, when you would see them, they would have 6 wings. Some would cover their face. Some would cover, when they were in front of Yah and they got their faces covered, and they're saying, Kadosh, 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 Yahweh Zava'o, Malo, the Kala Ha'adres Kavodo, holy, 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 set apart is Yahweh Zava'o. And his glory fills the whole entire earth. This is what they said, and he kept saying it over and over and over again. And they couldn't look upon Yahweh till they had their faces covered. Okay. So the wings of a bird is for 2 purposes. Okay. To cover and to fly. Those are the two reasons, to cover and to fly. Why is Yah telling us this? Why is this important? Because Yahweh himself has told Israel that he is like a mother to them as an eagle that protects them. And where's that at? It's in Deuteronomy chapter number 32. He says this. Verse 10. He found his people in the desert country, in a howling waste, in a howling, wasted wilderness. He protected him and cared for him, and he guarded him like the pupil of his eye. Like an eagle that stirs up her nest, she hovers over her young, spreads out her wings, and takes them and carries them as she flies. Yahweh alone led his people. No alien God was with him. So if someone says that he used Christ to deliver the children of Israel out of the wilderness, is a complete lie. Yah says he's done it alone. There was no one with him. Yes, he used Moshe. He used Aharon, but there's no other God. There is no one else. There was no other one. Well, there was a Moloch that he used. That was a messenger to deliver the message. If you go against him, he'll kill you. Just do what he says. Okay, that's it. So that's an oath. Okay. And we're going to stop there. That's going to be our lesson today. Next week, when we come, we're going to fall. Oh, here's the last part of it. I'm sorry. Your wings or your covering, check it out. Your eyelid. As a covering of the eyes. Right? And so what's your wings? It's the eyelashes. You guys get that? It's your eyelashes. You see how creative Yah is? Huh?
Yes.
Eyelashes are like feathers. You feel me? And it's supposed to protect your eye. It covers your eye, right? So that's just a little something else that is connected. Okay. So as you can see, there's some things that we have like the animals have, or like the creation have, you know? And it's all, and Yah has taken certain characteristics and he's like shared certain attributes of everything. Like if you think about it, if you look back at this picture right quick, let's just be real. Don't you see affection? Don't you see care, whether he's feeding or they just kissing each other? Do they mate? Yeah. Is she beautiful and he's handsome? Yes.
Yes.
Huh? Do they have care for their little chickens, their little chicks? Yes. Do they protect their chicks? Do you protect your kids? Yes. You see?
Yes.
Okay. You see, so their wings are their hands. Okay. Do they have feet? Yes. They can fly. Let me ask you a question. Do they have a stomach?
Yes.
Yes.
They have internal organs, don't they?
Yes.
They have blood, don't they?
Yes.
And eyes, and they can smell and they can taste. Oh, and that's right. They have a soul. Ah. So what's the difference between us and them?
There is none.
No, that's what Shalom was trying to tell us when he said there's no difference between an animal and a human being. They both die alike. They both have lives. They got work that they do. They create, and they, they have relationships too. They have families. They come in different colors and assortments and species types. Do you guys understand? So Yah has given us, and we share the earth with them. Do they share the skies that you and I look at? Are they benefited by the sun, the moon, and the stars? Do they drink water?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do they eat the seed of the earth? Yes, they do. And guess what they also do? One of the things that's not in here, they chirp. And guess what the chirp is? Chirp means I'm jealous. It's not just a song. Chirping in Hebrew means to be jealous from a bird. Every time I go outside in the morning, I hear the birds chirping, and at night, I hear them chirping right before the sun goes down. They start chirping. So, and every time I hear them, it's called quana. And quana means to be jealous. And why is it jealous? Because a bird is jealous for her family. She'll protect her family. Her chicks, if you come anywhere close to them, she'll lose it. You see? That's how Yah feels about Israel. When he said, I'll come like an eagle and you ride on my wings, he literally means that. When he says, I'll protect you and I'll fight for you, that he literally means that. Can you explain the difference again between the Ophanim, the Kavarim, and the Seraphim? Absolutely. All right, so listen. Okay, so we know where the Kavarim or Karuvim, okay, different pronunciations depending on what the text is, okay? So, let me see. Hopefully this thing will write right quick. No, you're not gonna write for me? You guys hear me trying to write. Anyway. All right, I'll just explain it. I can't, it just acts like it doesn't want to write. The Malachim are the ones who come down to the earth to deliver messages on Yah's behalf. They can either be a heavenly being or they can be an earthly being, okay? Same word is used. Anybody who's delivering a message, even like the Leviim we saw, are from the Kohanim. They're Yah's messengers on the earth. Okay. Yah has messages in the Shamayim. They come down to the earth. Yah has messages on the earth. So a Leviim in its own little way is like a Malakim because they're holding Yahweh's message. This is why he says, I'm going to punish you for disrespecting me. Okay. This is why it's hard for us because it's kind of hard to get a human to try to be godly. Okay. The second one is the Keruvim. Okay. In the Hebrew, the Keruvim, when you look at the Keruvim, they're on the Ark of the Covenant. They're on the Ark of the Covenant. Let me show you that. They're on the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, well, that's a better picture too. Here it is. These individuals that you see in this picture are called the Keruvim. It's just a presentation of them, okay? In Solomon's temple, their wings extended from this wall and they touched each other right here in the center where this ball of glory of Yahweh's presence is, and this other wing touched the wall on this side. Wingspans. I forgot the measurement. You can look at it in when when Shlomo gives the layout. Okay, so what they're doing is they're protecting the presence of Yah, because this is what the Keruvim do. They have faces as a man. Okay, that's what their faces look like. Also, too, when you look on the walls of the temple, they're there too. Yah has taken Keruvim and put them on the walls of the temple as well. And that's in Ezekiel, and that's also in the temple that Shlomo built. Okay, they were on the doors and they were on the walls along with palm trees. Palm trees meaning righteousness. When it says that these men would look at each other right here. Here's the first one on the Ark of the Covenant. These faces of these men, they call them brothers. They were looking at each other. When they were facing, they call them Ish, like a face of a man. Okay. And so there's an understanding why these two in particular Kovarim are looking at each other. Okay. What it was is how God expects humanity to guard what's in the box, right? There's some scholars that say, well, these two faces of these men are looking towards each other because the idea is how do you and I treat each other as well as human beings? How do we look at the image of Yah that's displayed in who we are? So when I look at you and you look at me, we're looking literally at the image of Yah that's blended in with our human features, but we're still in the image of Yah. And so what they're guarding is the ways of Yah that's supposed to, which are the 10 words, which is how to conduct ourselves with not only with Yah, but with one another, right? Because if we serve Yah, we'll be fine. We won't hurt each other. We serve other Elohims, you're more subject to be unrighteous and to do that which is wrong and don't have any equality about you, okay? So the Malakim the Malakim already discussed that. The Kovarim are the ones who are the guardians of Yahweh's throne right here, right here, okay? These are his Keruvim. And he says, I think in another text where, I think in Psalms, where he says Yahweh flies, he uses them as a flight to fly upon their wings when he comes. He'll use them as transportation to come. Okay. Then we have what's his name? The seraphim. The seraphim are the fiery ones, okay, that are mentioned in Isaiah chapter number 6, where he says he looked and he saw, and he saw these beings, and they had these wings, and they had fire. They were fiery beings. Okay, seraphim means the fiery ones, like a fiery serpent. Okay, so those are the ones who are also too declaring the glory of Yah. These are, I believe, also the ones, it's between them and the Ophanim, who Ezekiel saw. He saw a vision. Do you remember the vision Ezekiel saw? He saw those beings, which are the Ophanim. And those are the ones with the 6 wings. So some of them might have no wings. Some of them might have 2 wings. Some of them have 4 wings, and some of them have 6 wings. So what that tells us is that there's an order of these beings that Yah has that's part of Yahweh's existence that he created. It's known that he uses the Malachim to rule over different nations. He uses certain Malachims to take care of the sun and the moon and to open up the windows of the heavens. He has certain Malachim or beings that he sends to go as an army, to go before him. So this is a whole nother dimension. But what role that we play in this that would make it interesting to us is that you and I, listen to me carefully, are the guardians on the earth as if you and I are Malachim or Kovarim. Because the same words that they're guarding in this box is the same words that you and I are supposed to guard. I mentioned to you earlier, and I think I just need to share it. I didn't think I was going to go there, but I have to because I'm mentioning it now. Remember I told you about the wings? And I'm just going to go here and we'll look at it again. I'm not going to do that one. Where's that? I'm not going to do that one. Where's it? No, it's not that one. I told you early in my teaching, I was like, hey, do you guys remember? I said, do you guys remember about the Zitzi? I mentioned the Zitzi today. Okay. Well, with the Zitzi, and you'll see me use this again because I have to. We'll look at it next week as well. There's a word called kanaf that you see right here, kanaf. And kanaf means wings. Okay. Okay. Or corner. Yah tells us to put these, or the Zitzit on the corner of our, or in the 4 corners of our garment, on the kanaf. Okay. So that's what the word for 4 corners of your garment is, a kanaf, which means your wings. Okay. Those are your wings. Okay. Your wings is an extension. And what it is, what does a kanaf mean? A kanaf means to hide. That's what the wing does. As I told you, it covers. So the mother bird hides its young, right, in her wings. Or from the idea of what? Gathering them. So a skirt, a corner of a garment, a border, or quarter, a quarter part of the garment, every quarter, okay? A kanaf, like the 4 corners of the world, okay, of the earth. It's a kanaf, the 4 corners, the 4 quarters, the 4 corners of your garment. So what is Yah telling us? Yah's literally telling us when you put a tzitzit on the 4 corners of your garment, he's literally initiating you as being a guardian over his laws. They're your wings. They're your wings. The 4 corners of your garment is the 4 corners, which what he calls the kanaf, which are your wings. Wings are used to protect and to hide. Okay. Yah tells us as his people that I need you to protect my covenant. Why did he tell us to wear the tzitzit on the 4 corners? He says, so you can remember to do what? To guard the commandments and to do them and to be holy. That's what he said. And that is in Numbers chapter number 15, I believe, and starting verse number 34 to 38. That's what Yah is asking us to be. He's asking us to be literal guardians of his word as if you and I are Kovarim. Or just as if you and I are Malachim. He's asking the Levi to be his messenger. He's asking Israel to be what? The guardians over Yahweh's words. So that's the role that we play on the earth. And that's the responsibility that a lot of people don't want. And it's not, the job is not for everybody because it requires absolute total commitment. You guys get that? I didn't get a chance to share that today, but I'm sharing it with you. So, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, so that's the reason why we're supposed to guard it. That's the reason why you're supposed to wear your tzitzit, because those tzitzits are wings. Those are your feathers. When you walk and they move, people are always asking, what are those? And you're supposed to say, these are on the four corners so I can look at them, so I can remember to guard Yahweh's commandments, and I can remember that I'm supposed to be kadosh. I'm supposed to be separate, set apart. So I won't do anything against what the Creator said. Okay. Inadvertently, if I do make a mistake, I have a way to get out of it. Okay. So while we're here, and I forgot to mention this today, we're here to make up our minds. We're here to see whether or not you and I want the job to be a guardian of the commandments and to be a guardian of the covenant. If you and I guard Yah's words, Yah will guard you in the time of trouble. If you don't guard his words, then you open yourself up to be destroyed. This is what the call is. This is what our mandate is. This is what the Wayikra is about, is us being called to a higher level. Because if you look at that first offering, the Olah, it means to ascend. That means that you have to advance and be progressive. The only way you can get higher to Yah, to ascend to Yahweh, is to do what he says. Everything obeys Yahweh. All the Malachim obey him. All the earth obeys him. The seas obey him. The stars, the moon, the star, everything. Every planet, the earth, the wind, everything obeys Yahweh and will bow down to him. So he's looking for the creature, the nefesh, that's going to bow themselves down to him and say, I want the job. I want to be your guardian. I want to guard you. I want to guard your words that you spoke. That's why we don't supposed to be engaged with those who are of other nations, because they have a different God. They are in a different covenant. And when you and I accept what they're saying, we're denying his oneness, because we're not loving him with everything. The moment we say we're not going to do one of the commandments that he says, you're not at oneness with him. You can't be trusted because you don't believe in the oneness. The oneness of Yah is established by us giving Yahweh everything. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The oneness of Yahweh is only performed through you and I's love towards him. And it has to be absolute everything. Listen what it says. Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad. That means Yahweh is one, right here. Now he's going to tell you what does the one mean, because he is one. Yahweh's one. Where's that? Where did it move? It move on me? No, here it is, right here. Yahweh's Echad. He's one. So it tells you here, Israel, Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh is one. So if you believe that Yahweh is one, you believe that he's complete, you believe that he's whole, then you're going to have to do something. Because if you look real careful here, they got the brackets that they put in to translate what Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad means. The brackets here are just put here to translate. But if you look at the little semicolon here, guess what that's saying? I'm about to tell you what that means. What it means, if you're going to listen and you're going to obey, because that's what it means, and if you're going to believe that he's your Elohim, and you're going to believe that he's one and one in purpose, then you would do this. You are to love him. Ahavata eth Yahweh, your Eloheka, with kol. Why is kol my favorite? Because it's a tamed heart. It's a tamed mind. All means tamed. A tamed mind and a tamed stomach, a tamed desire, a tamed eye, a tamed ear. Everything about you is tamed. Even your resources are tamed. That's what being one with Yah is being tamed. That's what people don't know. We deny Yahweh if we don't give him everything. And this is what I'm working on. I'm not going to be prideful and say, oh, I got it all under control. No, I don't. No, I don't. He wants it all. All of everything. That's one word that people really don't understand. But I'm getting a chance to understand it. He wants it all. And that includes my emotions. I haven't given my emotions yet. It's easy for him to get my body. I'm disabled now. I gave him my stomach, right? I don't eat the foods he told me not to eat. I'm good. Right? I don't watch stupid shows. I'm not into, negative, sinful, lustful stuff. I'm not into that stuff. I'm not doing that. So what's the problem? The problem is he says, I want the inner parts, David. I want the liver. I want the kidney. You want my liver and kidney? I want your emotions. I want the heaviness of you. I want your emotions. I want the core of your being. That's what I want. And you haven't given it to me yet. What? Yeah, you haven't given it to me. You're a great teacher, but you're selfish. I need all of you. And I need you to get it together because you're going to have to tell the people that that's what I want from them too. So I can't tell you this unless I'm willing to give it. That's the cold part. So everything you're learning right now is so you can teach others. So everybody will learn how to guard what he said and become the guardians of Yahweh's words. That's an excellent position to be in. It's actually a true, that's the blessing. The blessing ain't just the land. The blessing is actually knowing the creator and him to give us the job and the task of being the guardians of his words. Just like the Kavarim, just like the Ophanim, just like the Malachim, just like the Seraphim, just like them. We're just that lower order. We're just the lowest order on the stick, the one that but he made in his image. You see? Which is his character. Because he doesn't have an image. He has a character. And that's what you and I are falling in line with. Does that make sense? It should. Well, you guys, I've held you long enough. Hope you enjoyed your lesson today.
I have one quick question.
Yes.
Are the cherubim not a class of Moloch?
Oh no, the cherubim is they mistranslated their name. That's the cheruvim. That's their real names. Oh, okay. Yeah, the cherub is really the cherubim. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that. I'm so gone. I don't even be talking about the English names. The cherubims are the cherubims. That's their real names. So they're
okay.
Yeah, the cherubim. They just put the ch on them, but they're really just a cough. They're not a ket. They're a cough. Cheruvim. Okay, keruv. One by themselves is a keruv. With many is keruvim. Okay. That's why they call them cherubs, but they're not cherubs. They're keruvim. Same. Yeah, those are the ones who are on that Ark of the Covenant. They're on the mercy seat. They're the guardians. So could you imagine meeting them and talking with them and for them to tell you what it is? When Yah said, I'm going to send my Malach, and as soon as I send him, if you told the children of Israel, if you make a mistake, you say anything to him, he's not going to forgive you because my name is in him. So Yah has Malachs that just, as soon as he sent him out there, Yah has hitmen. He has people to pull off stuff, man. We don't want to mess with him. We want to love him and we want to do what he says. Take our position as his guardians on the earth. Who else is supposed to be here to guard this besides Yisrael? You say, why do you have to give everything? That's why I said in the next few weeks it's gonna be turned up. Because we're gonna have to do absolute total commitment, and we're gonna have to total abandonment of anything that we want to do. Because you and I were not, this is the cold part. You and I were never meant to be anybody else's people but his. You and I were not meant to do anything else but serve Yahweh and eat off the land that he gave us. That's our work. Our work is to provide, to give us, put something in our hands, to bring it to him and say thank you. As hard as that may seem, and as difficult as that is, that's why you and I were created. Remember, we read in Jeremiah chapter number 18, he said that I made the house of Israel and the house of Yehuda as a loincloth to wrap themselves to me, so they will be a song and a praise throughout the whole earth. We're very special. And I don't want us to lose sight of that, but as much as special as we are, it requires and it demands a certain level of honor, respect, and, willingness, nobility, high level of care when it comes to the things of Yah. We are more of guardians than we are anything else. And we're part of that part of Yahweh's plan. And for us to be part of that plan, we're going to have to make the adjustments and say, okay, wow, I just found this out. Okay, now what do I need to do to structure my life right now? I'm not saying go quit your job. What I'm telling you is inside of the life that you have, wherever you are in your life right now, understand the priority is to be a guardian over Yahweh's words and to be his people, to be his praise, to be his song, and to be his glory, because that's why he created us. And he's not willing to share you and I with anyone else. He's not willing to cast us off. He's not willing to do any of that. All right. So I just wanted to share that with you. So if I get a little intense over the next few months, it's just what it is, because he's demanding more. And it starts with me. And then I'm not trying to project myself onto you, but I'm just telling you, as the children of Israel, he's telling you, you need to tell the people what it is. I don't want partial things. I need it all. So don't get comfortable with how much you know and say that it's over. And that's what he's telling me. So I'm going to have to get closer. I'm going to have to get deeper. I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. Yeah. Of a broken heart and a contrite spirit. Don't worry. I'm not going to make you guys do what I'm about to do. Any questions, concerns, statements, comments? Anybody got any comments?
I just had
Go ahead.
I just had a comment that you were speaking about. If we don't give ourselves like wholeheartedly to him, he'll actually remove those things that we're putting before him. And that's what I'm finding in my life. Like he's removing the things that I'm putting before him.
Yeah. So now we're on the same page, right? So I told the class at Conjure that Yah told me like yesterday that I was selfish. And I started crying. I was like, because I couldn't believe it. No, I just know it's impossible. He's like, no, you're selfish. And I said, how is that possible? He said, because you're only concerned about what's going on with you. You're so focused on your life. You're so focused on what you're going to be and what you're dealing with. I have a plan for you. Don't you understand that? You're only here to fulfill my plan, not your plan, my plan.
Yes.
So whatever my plan is for you. And like you said, I'll remove people, places, or things so I can get it to make it happen. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I thank you for that. So now I know that's confirmation for me that Yah's telling me I want it all. And I'm like, I thought I gave it all. I didn't give it all. And that's what happens when you pray and you ask him, show me the hidden things. And Yah will show you. And he ain't gonna hurt you with it. He didn't say it to me like, you got to give me everything. I didn't hear no voice like that. I didn't hear no voice. I heard something inside of me say, you're selfish. It's like, what? You're selfish. I said, how? Think about it. You only think about yourself, about what you're going through. You got to be more about what I want you to do. You're more about what you're going through. And you talk to me about you. You don't talk to, you telling me about you. I already know you. I don't want to hear about you. I want to hear about what you need to do for me. Well, I am doing what you want me to do. You're doing it the way that you think you should be doing it. I'm the master. You're the servant. If I tell you that something's wrong with you, there's something wrong. So don't argue with me, David. This is what it is. Okay. You want a relationship. You told everybody you want a relationship with me, right? Yeah, I want a relationship. You want to make the relationship better. Is that what you said? Yeah, I want to make it better. Then what are you willing to give up? It's not going to be us just talking, you guys. And guess what? Whose fault is that? It's mine. You know why? because I said out of my own mouth, as you heard today in our teaching, Yah says if a person made an oath or said something out of his mouth, whether it was for good or evil, and he forgot about it, Yah said, I'll bring it to your attention. You're guilty. Every word we say, we're going to be held accountable for. We're going to be held responsible. And that's what we're not being told. We think that Yah's going to sweep everything under the rug and all's forgiven. It's not going to happen like that. It's not going to happen, not for us. Okay, not for Israel. It's not, it'll never be that. What's being demanded of us is high level. That's why he's chosen us and chosen you, because you're high level, you're high pedigree. Kings and queens and nobility can't act a certain way. You can't be a certain way, and you have to be an outlier. You got to be out. You can't be the normal. You got to be outside of that. You got to do stuff that other people are not willing to do. You got to face things that other people are not willing to face. Other people want to go back and hide and go to the tent. You and I are supposed to say, no, let's go. And Yah's asking that. He's asking that from his people. When he talks about wholeheartedness, that you guys, when he says wholehearted, he means it. He means everything. And I thought I gave it all. And I said, no, I'm not the man. I can't define what everything is. Are we comfortable enough? And I'll let you go. Are we comfortable enough to say that when Yah tells us something, you and I will accept it? Or are we going to keep denying it and say, no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't. No, I don't feel that way. No. I am doing everything you say. I hate when I tell my kids that I told you something and they try to turn around and say that I said it differently or what my expectations are. They're meeting my expectations when I tell them straight to their face that they're not. And what I do expect. I can't stand it when I'm telling them something and I'm telling them because I want to help them so they could make me happy. But if I say something to them, they tell me, I ain't throwing my kids under the bus, I'm just telling the way it is. I've done the same thing. Yeah, I was saying, if I'm telling you something about yourself, don't go into denial about it. Accept what I said and look at it and examine it and find out what you need to do. So I've been checked. So he's letting me know, I'm checking you. I need you to let the people know that guess what? Their check is coming too. You guys are here to share. I'm not your Elohim. I'm not your master. I'm just your teacher. I'm just telling you because things are about to get rough and things are about to get tight and we're about to be challenged. And if you and I don't understand the role that we play, then we're going to have a hard time. That's just what it is. Thank you for your contribution, Condra. Anyone else? Oh, Renee says that what is the Kavarim in Ezekiel 28 and 14? Oh, I haven't looked at that one. I think if that one's there is about I don't know if that's the vision. I don't know. Let's see. I'll tell you what, Renee, I'm gonna have to get off a line on that for another. I think that'd take me some time to look at. I have to touch base with you on that outside of the class because I'm recording right now and that'll take a little bit more time. All right. So I'll look into that and I'll let you know. Anyone else? Someone else had something they were going to say before Condra said it. Who was going to say something? All right. That's okay. Well, Shabbat Shalom to you guys. Lila Tov, and I'll see you next time.
Lila Tov.